Marvel doesn't want you to watch this show, or at least that's what it feels like for yet another MCU show that has been barely marketed, dumped all at once. That's Wonder Man. That was Ironheart, that was Echo, and here we have another one. 8 episodes, only released a couple days ago, and it's like they don't even care. They released a Daredevil trailer the day that Wonder Man dropped. They don't even care enough to wait until this thing is in the public consciousness. That sucks for so many reasons, but I think that one of the main reasons why that sucks is Wonder Man is one of the best Marvel shows, nay, maybe even one of the best comic book shows that I have ever seen. It's right up there. This show is amazing. And Marvel have just, oh God, what a shame.
This is so annoying. This happened not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times where they dropped the show all at once. People are saying like, oh, it wouldn't survive weekly. It would! You have to engage with everything that the show has to offer. We follow Simon into the story, how he struggles to break into acting in Hollywood, and he struggles to be himself. That is one of the best things we get to see from the show, but I feel so annoyed. Why did Marvel do this? They didn't even let it marinate.
This is the Out of Time Film Podcast, where your hosts Tom and John discuss everything from blockbuster films to TV and games like there's no tomorrow.
The show follows a guy called Simon Williams who is trying to break into Hollywood. He wants to be an actor, and he may get his chance when he is told that Hollywood is remaking a film called Wonder Man. And the guy who tells him that they're remaking it is none other than Trevor Slatterie, the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. And so basically we follow these two guys in the circumstances they're in, trying to get the main role and main supporting for Wonder Man. And there's a bunch of stuff that unfolds with that. It's not a show that's ever going to get a season 2. Let's be realistic.
I want season 2. I want season 2.
Maybe. We will probably see Simon Williams again, but this is a show that this is probably it. So why don't we let it have its day in the sun? Why don't we just give it that moment to shine? It's unique for so many reasons. This, I would say, is the Marvel project that has its foot the most in reality. Real people are referenced and we see them. There are some brilliant actor guest roles who are hilarious. The show deals with making a superhero movie and just Hollywood in general, which is obviously something that was done in a really fun way, but also a really real way. This is our second Marvel spotlight. We haven't seen one of these since Echo. So Echo was our first. This is our second. And I really enjoyed Echo. I thought that it was exactly what it needed to be, a spotlight on a particular character. That's the idea behind this thing, right? And Wonder Man is that even more. This show doesn't have loads of action and it doesn't have a twist villain or big cameos. There is no final action scene in the show, and that's amazing. It's all character drama. You know, sometimes you watch a show, I think a lot of Disney Plus shows fall under this trap. You see the finale is less than half an hour and you go, oh, great. How are they going to wrap all this stuff up in half an hour? And then you watch the finale and you're kind of underwhelmed. That's happened so many times. This show, the finale's half an hour, and I felt so fulfilled. I felt like I'd had a nice meal.
Like a whole dinner course, and then we got
Yeah.
dessert right here.
Yes.
That, to be honest, though, it's only 8 episodes. My only complaint is that it needs to be a bit longer, really. We're seeing a shrinkflation of shows nowadays. It's getting so frustrating because it's like, what if there's people like me that want to delve deeper into a bit of like Hollywood? There was a fantastic episode that we saw, episode 4, Doorman, which is done so well, by the way. It's so different to what you see in the rest of the series, but it's done such a terrifying way. How fame gets to you and how it can change you as a person and what future you're going to have. The thing is, though, this doesn't feel like an MCU show. As you were saying, it feels more realistic, it feels grounded, it feels way more human because this is a show between two actors. They reference so much profound theatrical works from drama, from theatre, from films, and I think that's what is missing from the MCU. We don't really get to see the human feelings. Again, I've said this many times. You know what I'm going to say. The MCU feels very oversaturated. There's nothing real. There's lots of fights. There's going to be the same thing with the finale. There's going to be the same fights. Done. Boom. You just had your same meal every day. But this is completely different. This is something that I was emotionally invested in. at the end of the day, I'm like, this is just like a love letter to Hollywood, but also to like storytelling. And I cannot wait. Who's the director? Because he's doing Brand New Day, isn't he?
Destin Daniel Cretton.
Yes.
Obviously, he did Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was pretty good. And there are things in Shang-Chi that I think we see here. They have reached their full potential. And then the idea that this is the guy who's going to do Spider-Man. I'm so excited. This is the guy for the job. The fact that Destin Daniel Cretton can make such different things is brilliant. Amazing. I want to go back to what you're saying about the show needing more episodes. I agree. That's unfortunately the thing that we come back to so often. What was that word you used? Shrinkflation?
Yeah.
Did you come up with that?
So
okay.
There's a YouTube video talking about how business in general have come to this shrinkflation. So if you compare a cream egg, a Cadbury's cream egg, like from 2000,
local
from the 2000s,
reference. Yeah.
or the 2010s, you see the egg getting so much smaller, like the Pringle cans or everything. It's getting tiny.
Are you telling me that I could be having bigger cream eggs right now?
Yes.
That's
what the government is hiding from you. They're hiding bigger cream eggs.
They don't want you to know.
It's all
Everyone
classified.
listening right now, take to the streets. If you're in the UK, we want better cream eggs. This is the real issue that they don't want you to talk about. That's right. Marvel doesn't want you to watch this show, and the UK government doesn't want you to talk about the cream egg size. And for anyone not in the UK, you're missing out.
It's pretty good. Yes. Shrinkflation. Yes.
Shrinkflation. Right. I love that term. So here's the thing. This show was almost a tax write-off. Destin Daniel Cretton said that this show was almost a tax write-off, much like Batgirl, Coyote vs. Acme, which has been saved, thank God, Willow, a bunch of films and shows that have been cancelled, Scoob 2, cancelled or removed off streaming services, not released. Wonder Man almost was that. The fact that this is how studios think, that they think that art from people who have a story to tell, like how much would this show have cost? In terms of Marvel, probably very, very low. And yet they still were like, yeah, we're going to use this as a tax write-off. Cowards, pathetic. But to their credit, they didn't do that. And I'm so happy because this show is the show that I point to and I say, no, Marvel shows aren't all the same. Because I think even now you could say, even up until Ironheart, you could say, yeah, okay, fine. They all have a lot of similarities. This show doesn't do any of those things. In the past, even the different shows like She-Hulk or Agatha still had the finale problem and various things like that. Wonder Man, finally, it breaks free of the mold. Marvel TV now under Brad Winderbaum having done different things and new things and not all being done by the same people making the movies stretched really thin. They're making TV as TV, not TV as you'd make a film.
I cannot imagine a world without Wonder Man, to be honest, because
changed your life.
I don't know why. The show's only 3 hours and a half, but it's so much more than 3 hours and a half. You just feel like you're so into the story with Simon Williams and Trevor Slatterie, which can we just talk about that? Like,
yes,
he's this guy. He just comes back. He just comes back out of nowhere. He's like, hey, I'm back, guys. But what happened to Morris? What happened to it?
Oh my God, I forgot about Morris.
Is he okay?
He went the way of the cream egg.
Wow, he just got tiny. He just got tiny somewhere.
He's like in his pocket, yeah.
Oh, that would be great. You just chill in there. But yeah, in the story, Trevor Slatterie says that he's been sober for 13 years. Now, if you think about it, Iron Man 3 came out in 2013, and it's been 13 years like that, bro.
Why would you remind me of my own?
I'm sorry. It was like such a dark feeling, like inside, like, wow, that's a long time.
God
but
damn it.
Yeah, he's back, guys.
He is. I can't believe that he was introduced as a gag twist, a twist that I love. One day we'll cover Iron Man 3, but
I do
I've
too.
Always...
Did I say that somewhere? I also love the twist. I thought it was funny.
We did Shang-Chi a long time ago.
Okay,
I can't remember. I don't encourage anyone to go back and listen to
reference that one bit that I said in Shang-Chi. Do you remember?
You said it was oversaturated or something.
No.
He went from being that twist reveal, and then he had the one shot, All Hail the King, where they kind of use him to then essentially all they're doing there is just promising the fans that the Mandarin is out there, and then they bring him back as a gag in Shang-Chi. And I didn't love him in Shang-Chi because I thought, oh, he's just comedy now, and we could have gone deeper into him. I feel like now I owe Shang-Chi an apology because this is the exploration of Trevor that I wanted. I did wonder, is it worth bringing him back after All Hail the King? but they have this really interesting story to tell about somebody who is an actor and who cares so much about the craft and wants to be somebody to make his mum proud and to make himself proud. But also, not only is he haunted by this role that he did that follows him everywhere, the Mandarin, but also he used to be an addict and he's trying to do something good, do something right, trying to keep himself out of prison.
Simon Williams and Trevor Slatterie's chemistry is just
Yes.
off the charts in this because it's just so pure and it's just this friendship that is just bonding because they just love acting and they dedicate it to that craft. And there's this really nice scene where Trevor helps Simon not overthink too much about your choices as this character. Like, it's all about instinct. As a actor, like performer that studied drama, that feels so real because it just feels like you overthink too much. Like, what if I want to move that way? What if I want to talk this way? What if I want to do Yoda impression in this case? So it's just the real aspects of the show that just makes it so grounded, and I want to keep watching these guys. There's something
Yeah.
about it that just makes it so magic.
They have a relationship, they have a bromance that really carries the show. They kind of really begin to care for them, but it's also not a mentor-mentoree relationship. And also, these two actors are so funny. Ben
Yeah.
Kingsley, very funny. We've seen Iron Man 3. We know that he can do great things in this role, and he takes it to another level in this show. There's a bit where he's like on the phone. He doesn't want to reveal who he's on the phone to, and he's kind of pretending. And Simon's like, we come in and he goes, gotta go, Vanya. And then he just hangs up his comedic timing.
Also, his Liverpudlian accent, because he's
Yes.
from Liverpool. And it's just
Yes.
like, wow, I don't know why. It's just like the Britishness of this is just.
Was he Scouse in Iron Man 3? Because I don't remember.
I thought it was a Cockney accent that you had.
Yeah, like I think what's funny about it is that you actually don't know if that's his real accent, if he's putting that on it, if all of this
Yeah.
is a persona, which I
Is
love
it
about him.
himself? That's the main
Yeah.
thing of the show.
Well,
Are
that's-
you trying to be yourself? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's really great that we kind of see the way that he composes himself, but also Simon himself, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. He's no stranger to a comic book project. He's Black Manta in two Aquamans. I love him in those. He's in Watchmen. I haven't seen Watchmen, but I know who he plays in Watchmen. It is a spoiler, so I won't say. And he's so different here. He has comedic talent and a relatability that you don't get from Black Manta, who is a villain. What an addition to the MCU. I'm so happy. I really, really hope we see more of Simon. He is great. I think the actors are great and the comedy is great. As I said earlier, there's some great acting cameos. Josh Gad, or should I call him J Gad, is just I love it when an actor plays themselves, but they're like a dramatized version of themselves. This show does that with Josh Gad and Joe Pantagliano. I love that stuff. They're so funny playing themselves, just hamming it up. And there's also great jokes about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. What did he do with the chicken? It's just
Was
really
it pigeons?
good.
Was it pigeons that
Oh my God. I was thinking my mind, it was a pigeon. My mind went to, the social network. You planted the story about the chicken. And no, you did. What story about the chicken? Seriously,
What story about the chicken? I love
The
that.
fish, not eat fish. The salmon and the trout. Yeah, what a film. But the comedy. There's also a great bit at the beginning of episode 5 where you think there's going to be a big chase scene and the music swells as the two characters get into the car and then it cuts to them in a traffic jam. In certain hands, that could be a cheap joke, but it's really not. This show is just endlessly, I was just laughing out loud.
I was so worried that this show was going to be trying to make fun of the MCU, like, oh, superhero fatigue, like, oh, you know what Deadpool did, like in Deadpool and Wolverine? There wasn't really any of that. It was just the realistic parts about Hollywood. I'm going to spoilers if you're happy with that, Tom.
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
dive in.
What a show. Go watch it. Come back. Spoilers.
We don't see the usual conventional storyline about how did Simon get his powers. That's up to you. And we have some really emotional backstories that I think is just great about his father. There's some weight to that I think is just great to explore more, and like how he didn't have friends growing up, but his father, he looked up to him, and how movies or theater or books that had that escapism, that was his to escape and be whoever he wants. But the aim of the show is, can he be truly himself with the superpowers? It's terrifying. The anxiety, the terrifying thing about what if everyone finds out that you're a superpower and you cannot act. This is my only one thing to do in my life. I want to pursue that acting. So that's the realism part of it. I think that was just hit hard.
Yeah, but also it's great that he doesn't become a superhero at the end. He's not putting on the costume and I will be Wonder Man and I figure out how to use my powers and I'm going to use it to defeat the bad guy. And the bad guy is Von Kovac, the director, who puts on a big suit like the classic MCU thing. And they don't even try to take a jab at that. As you say, Deadpool and Wolverine did it. She-Hulk did it. We've done it. We've seen it. You know,
We've
we
done
get
it,
it.
yeah.
The way you actually move forward from that isn't just poking fun at it and then still doing it. You make something different and new. And I really like that Simon wasn't Wonder Man at the end and he was going to become the protector of Hollywood or something like that. I really hope that we do see Simon again, though, in the context of like, even like in the background. Let's say that we see Matt Murdock watching TV, watching the news, and then it's like, and in other news, the latest film with Simon Williams, and Matt walks away, but in the background we kind of see, you know how we kind of had a couple of nods to Kingo since Eternals? Just that, I think that this is a good opportunity for a little bit of world building, if they want to do that kind of thing. But we do have a fair bit of world building in this one, which I think, again, like,
Yes.
you don't need to watch the MCU to understand this, but we do get stuff that slots in quite well, namely the Department of Damage Control, because we've seen that in No Way Home and She-Hulk and Miss Marvel and now in Wonder Man. That prison that Trevor gets sent to at the end, we saw in Miss Marvel and She-Hulk. That's where the Abomination was. I just think it's really interesting that we're still going with that. Apparently, we're going to see them in Brand New Day. I don't know where this is from, but I saw a report that, Travell Tillman.
Yes, I've seen a report that too. He's going to be
Yes,
in this.
apparently he's the head of the Department of Damage Control.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that would be interesting.
Okay.
We follow the guy that we saw in Miss Marvel and No Way Home. I don't know the character's name, I don't know the actor's name. He's in Succession. I like how Trevor needs to work with the department and the ethics behind that. Like, very clearly Simon is not a danger really to other people, and Trevor becomes genuine friends with him and sees him not just as an asset. And the Department of Justice, I think it's so great how that's the conflict throughout. Will Simon find out that Trevor is essentially betraying him? And what's the Department of Justice going to do when it catches Simon? But the fact that the ending of the show is intercut, you think the Department of Justice are going for Simon, but they don't. They're going for Trevor, who has revealed himself as the Mandarin again and claimed responsibility for Simon's explosion. I thought that was really good. It adds to those layers of everything as a performance, and it's about how we choose to act and choose to respond to situations. Simon has done nothing wrong, but Trevor feels like he has.
These two characters want to prove themselves. Trevor wants to prove that he's better than this. He's better than the Mandarin, but also he takes that back in a way, like he has that bit of control. And then with Simon, it's kind of like the art of letting go. He can be himself, with so much pressure. Like, there was one thing that absolutely terrified me was that scene when he's acting with the other guy. He feels so much pressure in that dream sequence.
Yes.
When the guy's like, I know your secrets. I know who you are. You see slowly building up with Trevor, like, starting to get really anxious, and you see his powers getting stronger. And then, out of nowhere, Simon punches the heck of that guy to the skull, and that was like, what? What? Okay, here's the thing.
Oh my God.
That might be the most goriest thing I've seen in the MCU.
Oh yeah, that was such a great, because they really trick you into thinking that's real. But again, if that was real, that just seems like, okay, it's going to just go into a generic MCU plot now instead of doing something different.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't, like, the show takes a whole episode away to talk about Doorman, as you said before, and to just do that and to just have it simply be expanding the world, and the whole episode basically is expanding Simon's fears. You get it. Simon doesn't even need to say a single thing. You understand from watching that episode exactly what he's scared of. Just such fine storytelling, good sir. Just it's a lovely vintage. It's a lovely vintage of good storytelling.
You just sound like you're like a wine connoisseur. Like, this is
exactly.
This is fine storytelling right here.
2026, a fine year for the craft.
Yes. But yeah, I agree with that doorman. It just further expands Simon's fears.
And also maybe canonizes Cloak and Dagger. I mean,
And the Runaways?
Yeah! I've never seen Cloak or Dagger or the Runaways. And I don't really know, but basically the puddle that he touches is Roxxon sludge, and apparently it takes him into the Doorverse or whatever, like some sort of like void.
Doors.
And that's where Cloak draws his powers from, and apparently some other characters too, like throughout, maybe like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something apparently too, but specifically Cloak and Dagger, and then they crossed over with the Runaways, so it makes all of it canon. And they have like a character from Luke Cage in it too, so I don't know what is and what isn't canon at this point. But if they want to get everyone in Secret Wars and they get every single character who's ever been in the MCU and they all stand there and they go then they all run, whatever, man.
Yeah,
sure.
whatever, yeah, sure.
Fucking fine. When I watched Endgame as a kid and Doctor Strange said, "Is that everyone?" and Wong said, "What, you wanted more?" Me in the cinema was like, yeah, I do want more actually. Where are the Defenders? because I think that, yes, it would be cool to have people like Cloak and Dagger and the Runaways in an Avengers movie because every fan deserves to have their favorite character on screen. And at this point, every character is someone's favorite. This week, Simon Williams has become somebody's favorite character. And that's so cool.
Sure.
This show probably will also inspire people to become actors. I love the whole thing.
It's a brilliant character study that I think everyone should watch. And it's a vibe as well. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So
If Marvel
good.
had promoted this properly, I don't know.
Bloody hell.
It's got a great score from Joel P. West, who did Shang-Chi as well. I'm so happy it exists. What are you going to give Wonder Man out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 9. I'm feeling positive today.
You know what? Me too. What a time to be alive. We've had a pretty good run of MCU stuff, from Thunderbolts to Ironheart to Fantastic Four to this. I mean, it's a decent run. It is. There's nothing terrible, but
No.
you know.
And then we got Brand New Day.
We also got Daredevil and Punisher and Vision Quest. If you ignore Doomsday, the year's looking great.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for listening. If you're listening on YouTube and you liked it, you can like and subscribe if you want to see more. We've got so much Marvel stuff you can look at and listen to with your ears and your eyes. Your eyes can
Look
listen
at.
to.
Like, hey guys, look at everything we've got. Like,
There's not much to look at, I can't lie.
No.
And also Spotify and Apple, you can give us a 5-star review if you think we're worthy. And next week, more TV, Fallout Season 2. Very interesting. I'm halfway
very
through. Looking good.
I haven't
And
watched it yet.
We'll see you next week, I'm sure. Wednesday is when the finale comes out. And you can send us an email about Fallout Season 2. Let us know your thoughts. And we'll answer right here in the podcast next week.
Yeah, so you can follow us on Instagram at Out of Time Film Pod to see our incredible thumbnails from Zain, on Twitter for more thoughts from Tom and me, and TikTok to see edited clips, which are all also on Instagram, Reels, and YouTube Shorts. And you can find links to that all in the description below. Thanks to Elle for the excellent theme, and Ronan for logos as always. And I think that's everything. Take away given.
Give nothing back.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.